conditions that may be related to ADHD, part 2. So today I'm going to be talking about gastrointestinal problems, and that includes things like acid reflux, constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea. And what's interesting is that there seems to be a link. It's not an absolute, not everybody is going to get this, but there is definitely a higher occurrence of those conditions or gastrointestinal issues amongst people that have been diagnosed with ADHD. There's an even higher proportion of that population who are female, so it's more common amongst females with ADHD. I drew this super amateur little graph, which I copied off the internet, and it just shows the different types of condition that I'm talking about here. So you've got a study that involves people with ADHD and people without ADHD. And within that group, we can see here with IBS, 156 of those people studied who did not have ADHD had IBS. 263 of that study who did have ADHD had IBS. And you can see with constipation, dyspepsia as well, that there is, quite a higher amount of people who have ADHD that suffer with those conditions. Just to be clear, dyspepsia includes things like acid reflux, indigestion, digestional problems, and also just generalized pain in the upper part of the stomach. I find this fascinating because as a child, I had terrible constipation. And to be fair, it could have been because I was on a terrible 70s diet of fish fingers and oven chips. But most of my friends were on that diet and they didn't seem to have those same constipation issues that I had. And it was so bloody painful. One thing to note though, if you have been diagnosed with ADHD and you are taking medication that is on the methylphenidate family, those drugs have been known to be associated with an increased risk of dyspepsia and constipation, but not IBS, IBD and celiac disease. So if you are finding that you didn't have those problems before, but since being on that medication you are being constipated, or you're having diarrhea or irritable bowel syndrome, dyspepsia, then maybe it's worth having a talk with your doctor about that, because they can always adjust your meds. I haven't been able to find like a definitive reason why this might be, although I know that there is a link between hypermobility and baggy joints, baggy muscles, and problems with digestion. So it could be that people who are hypermobile and ADHD have a higher risk of being gastrointestinally challenged. If this resonates or you have anything to add, please drop me a comment and let me know your thoughts.